Hey, you beautiful people. Let's talk about dreams. That is the first exercise in the New Rhythm Journal. And believe it or not, I get a lot of feedback from people that this is one of the hardest things for them because they're not used to dreaming. They're not used to thinking about themselves, thinking about what they want. And it's such an important step towards great mental health is thinking about what you want for your life. What do you like? What do you want to see? Who do you want to be? Those are very important things, which is why we start with that process. So in the beginning, there's a specific way that I asked you to write out your dream, and that is to write it as if it has already happened. No matter how long you think that's going to take, think about what your dreams are. You have that space in that beginning where you can just begin to write some things, as many things that are coming to your mind. And as you're doing that step, I want to encourage you to think about your environment while you're doing that as well. The thought that I had when I was preparing that part for you was that it would be a quiet place for you, maybe play some meditation music or music that you'd hear in the spa. You close your eyes and you just visualize, who do you want to be? What kind of income do you want to make? Where do you want to live? What kind of relationships do you have? That you would just take that moment for yourself just to dream and think through that. And in that space, you can just begin to write down everything that comes to your mind. And then as you process through that, you can carry your top five. Sorry, it's time for me to bring some joy to you guys. You can bring your top five to that dreams list that we'll do once a week. Now, here's what's important. As you're thinking through your dreams and thinking about what your top five are, you're writing them down as if they've already happened. One of my dreams, just to be vulnerable, is I wrote down, I live a debt-free life. I write that down every week. And here's why, because my entire life, I've never not been without debt. When I was a kid, my parents were in debt. Their parents were in debt. In my adult life, we're in debt. And I want to get out of debt. And so I don't write, one day I'm going to get out of debt, because that still makes it such a far distance and impossible in my brain. But no, I write, I live a debt-free life. And so now, why is that important? Scientifically, your brain actually does not know the difference between a thought and a reality, something actually happening. You're thinking and something actually happening. So the same thing is happening up here. And so what happens is, as you begin to write it as if it already happened, one of the main quotes that started this whole New Rhythm Journal is, what you think about grows. And so there's a portion in your brain that's called the reticular activating system. And what that does is, as you begin to think through things and see things, you put it in that reticular activating system and it begins to look for it. And so now what you're able to do is you're able to move in your life, you're able to think about things and give action to your life that's moving towards that goal, that's moving towards that dream. And so because I'm writing that once a week in my New Rhythm Journal, I'm always thinking about living a debt-free life. And so I'm looking for that type of stuff. I'm not going to make that decision because that's not going to help me be debt-free. I'm going to continue to pay that off and use extra penny I have to pay towards that because I'm going to be debt-free. And sooner or later it begins to happen, and that's a reality. And you've reached your dream, and then you can start a new dream. Here's another awesome thing that Shelly did. For 411 days, she wrote, I am a motivational speaker and speak on stages. She wrote that for 411 days. And you know what's really neat is, just last week, she had an opportunity to stand on a stage and speak to 600 health coaches and share her story about how she's a health coach and how it's transformed her life, and encourage them to continue to push and do the same. 411 days. She wrote it every single day as if it already happened. That was on her reticular activating system, and her dream became a reality. So the question is, what's your dream? What are you writing down? What are you thinking about? Write that down as if it already happened once a week, and watch your dreams become reality.